Evan, how's it going, man?
Hey, Kris, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. With Howdy Houston, we're doing these small business showcases, and really my goal with these is really just kind of get to know business owners in the city of Houston, kind of understand, especially entrepreneurs that are starting out, maybe a few years in, and get to know their business, get to know what they're doing in the city, kind of get to know their background. And so today, if you're on the call, we're here with Evan Andrews with Vandrews Media. And so Evan, give us a little bit about your background with the city. I think you were born here in Houston, correct?
Yeah, so I've been here all my life. I actually live out in Katy, West Houston, but to me, it's all Houston. I mean, it's going to expand here in the next several years, and it's all going to be one huge metropolis anyway. So, but I've been here in the Katy area all my life, and yeah, I grew up here, went to school here, went to college here, work here, and I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. People complain about the humidity and the heat and everything, but I'm a warm weather kind of person, so I couldn't live up north or anything like that.
And so, did you say you grew up in Katy, or you grew up on?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, right where I was born in Memorial Herman, into town, but that was way prior to the expansion of everything in the last several years. But yeah, I've been in the Katy area all my life. I went to high school there. James E. Taylor, for those who might be watching that might know what that is. But that's where I went to high school, and I've worked in a lot of different areas of the city, doing my own stuff, and then obviously work for other people. So, for me, it's not a drive to me, the drive to Spring is just the same thing as if I were to drive just like 10 minutes from my house. To me, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's where every place in Houston's about 30 minutes or 30, 45 minutes, depending on what time you're going.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been amazing to see the Katy area expand the way it has, even just, seeing, Katy high school on winning all those, state championships. I mean, it's a wonderful place to grow up with a family.
For sure.
I remember going out to the Katy Mills Mall when it first opened. And
I worked there.
Did you? Where did you work?
I worked for Vans, the shoe store.
Very nice. And so yeah, it's I still go out there on occasion, but it's such an amazing area of town, Greater Houston, that just is a wonderful place for families to go and live.
It literally gets bigger by the day. Like there's so much new construction going on, and especially in the newest part of Grand Parkway, just on the north side of I-10 there. They're just building neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood. And we're scheduled to get, I think, like 2 or 3 more high schools in the next few years. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible to see the city grow. And so speaking of new construction, you started the business in September of last year. You've been doing this for a long time. What transitioned you into going into media, understanding the ins and outs of camera work, video, photography, lighting, everything that goes into just making sure a snapshot is the best it possibly can be.
Sure.
How did you transition to that?
Sure. So I graduated college in like 2012 for graphic design. And, I got a small job in like the sign industry right out of school. And, after I saw kind of the inner workings of that, I thought I could do it by myself. So I kind of went out in a venture of where I was just really focused on, graphic design, business cards, flyers. I would make assets for people's websites, different things like that, print and digital media. But, after I started working, like I said earlier, at Vans Shoes, for a few years, I got into video production. I bought myself a camera. I learned how to take pictures and make little movies here and there. I had an iMac at the time, and we had a free program on there called iMovie. And with the help of my friend, we kind of learned how to use it. And it was about in 2018, after I had been kind of dabbling just in like video production for a few years, that both my friend and I were actually hired on to do a documentary series here in the city of Houston. It was like a mini documentary series, but it was a first-time producer, and she really wanted to showcase businesses and creatives here in the city. And from then, like I said, 2018, from then I had to learn a lot more into how to make my quality a lot better. I was afforded the opportunity to use new equipment and different things like that. So kind of had to like level up my game a little bit. And ever since then, it's kind of been pedal to the metal, and I haven't looked back. I recently, in October last year, I upgraded my own personal stuff. So my camera quality and a lot of things got a lot better. And, I really was told by a lot of people out there that like what I was charging for videos wasn't enough. And I was being told that by people who were further deeper in the industry than I was. So I had to kind of learn how to make, if I was going to ask you for a couple $1,000s to make a video that I, didn't really know what you were going to do with it. I didn't know if you were going to make money off of it. I didn't know how you were going to use it in your marketing. I had to figure out a way to make it make sense for that person to spend that kind of money with me. So I, in recent months, have started getting into the marketing side of distributing these videos that I'm making for people in my sales process to really make it make sense and have a good ROI for somebody that is going to spend possibly $2,000 or $3,000 on a video that I'm going to make for them. So all of that in the marketing realm has kind of happened in the last several months, but I would say in the last 5 or 6 years or so, my video production really took a step up. And for those who are watching this, if you go to my YouTube channel, Evan Andrews, you can see that documentary series that I was a part of making. And I think we have about 8 or so episodes and videos on there from it. But yeah, you can go check it out. A lot of the people that are featured in it are still in operation. I think a few people's names have maybe changed. One of the breweries that we did, they've changed their name in the recent years. But yeah, you can go check them out, and everybody's still there. And everybody's still here, and you can go see them in person, and go purchase from their business and maybe learn a little bit more about them.
Yeah, I watched a few of those videos. I mean, it's just, you did an amazing job on just the overall quality of that. It's when you're showcasing someone like that, I would imagine just walking into a business, you're not dealing with like an actor or someone like that's a trained professional. Right. You're dealing with somebody that has no idea on how production works or anything like that. So right. I would imagine that's kind of difficult.
Well, to me, like I said, it was a really big learning experience for me. So for me, I was really intimidated in some of the aspects. You get there and you want to make sure that they're comfortable, but you also want to make sure that you're not messing up and that you're getting what you need. And, along the process, we did mess up a little here and there. And I remember on one shoot that we did, one of our video cards, we completely don't know where the footage went. And, that was a big red flag. And that made us implement different things that I still implement into my own personal video creation process even today. So it was a great learning experience. And, I can't say that I would take anything back from that experience.
Yeah. And so, one of, just for me noticing the things that you're doing through social media, I think one of the niches that you have is general contractors, builders. I would imagine that, even just that experience working with business owners and going out and because you're trying to put a production together and you're working with business owners. I would imagine that kind of transitions into what you're doing now with general contractors that don't necessarily have that experience of being on camera.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I have a project going on and I had to hire out an actor for it because the guy was just like, I'm not going to be on camera. I'm not going to do anything like that. But, I do want to dabble in the video part for my business to see, what it can do for me. So I'm having to hire actors and do different things like that, which is okay because in the end, I'd rather do something like that and have a really awesome production than try and train up somebody that's not necessarily comfortable doing something like that. So it it's good and it's bad because sometimes, we don't have the budget to maybe hire actors or different things like that. So people are kind of forced into it, but some people are so ingrained into their brand as far as their face because of maybe certain things they're already doing online or different things like that, that they kind of are pigeonholed into being that face, and we kind of can't switch them out. But it's worked out so far. I just finished actually some ad creatives for Jeff, who is in the Howdy Houston group as well with Planet Smart Development. I'm getting ready to send them over to him for approval this afternoon. But he did really great. Him and his crew, they did really great on a shoot that we had on Monday. And, they didn't really have too much of a problem being on camera. We had to do a little training through it, but overall it came out pretty well.
Wonderful. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. We actually have a quick little panel discussion the other day with Jeff. That'll be coming out here shortly too. Cool. But yeah, I'm very interested to know, because just kind of hear your feedback on this, because you as well as I know, all the marketing is moving through social media, and these new, top 4 channels. It used to be, NBC, ABC, CBS, but now it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and just a handful of others that are really dominating the marketing space. And I think we're still in a transition period where you can still compete locally, against a lot of these corporate companies. What's your advice to someone that doesn't necessarily have a huge social media following, doesn't necessarily want to get on camera? They're kind of new to this whole new market. Let's say, your general contractors out there, for example. What would be your advice, in that similar situation where, I don't really have a huge social following. I don't necessarily want to get on camera. I just want to do the same work I've been doing for the last 10, 15 years. I just don't want to lose my business because this new marketing push is moving into these new, platforms. What would be your advice to them?
So my advice would, one, if you can afford it, hire the right people to do it for you. Don't waste the time in trying to learn something new so that, you can say that you're doing it. You definitely want to understand it and what it's going to do for you, just so that you can see like when it is or is not working. But if you can't afford it, hire somebody to do it for you, somebody that's reputable and, is going to do a good job for you. But the second thing I would say is, get into the like Instagram and Facebook reel space, get on TikTok, but if you don't want to be on camera, you can definitely do something voiceover related. There's a great dude that I see on Instagram reels. His name is, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's something jalapeno, but he's a general contractor, and he just goes in and does voiceover work over what he's, might be doing on how to patch something on the drywall, or, a little hack that he has for this. And he just kind of films it. He's not in front of the camera. He's behind the camera, and he films what he's got to do. And then later he does a little voiceover, and then he posts it up. And he gets a lot of views, and he gets a lot of reactions to his content. And that's just pushing out his business each and every day. So I would suggest starting on something like that on the low level. If you're really gung-ho about doing it yourself because maybe you can't afford to do it, or afford to hire somebody to do it, you got to get into the video space. The regular posting and the pictures and all that stuff, that's good, but that stuff has like a 20 or 30 minute shelf life on your feeds. So it's, it's not something that I would say like waste a bunch of energy on. Definitely keep doing it if it just kind of can fit into your schedule, but make time for, like I said, the reels, the short form video stuff. Cause it's getting pushed out kind of like organic ads right now. And eventually they're going to stop doing that, I think. But until that day comes, keep doing it and just move on to the next thing when it comes. But first and foremost, you got to hire the right person to do it if you can afford it in your business.
They're doing it right now. It's, you can definitely see the difference between even like a $10 boost on a post versus just the organic reach. I think, in some cases, even if you have 2,000 or 3,000 followers, you're only seeing about 60 to 100, views of your post versus, if you throw in $10 to $20, it triples the amount of people, even just within your reach.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of information, and this is for everybody out there. And if you've done this in the past, stop doing it now. Do not boost your posts.
Yeah.
Boosted posts, they don't do anything for you. They don't give you a return on your investment. They literally do nothing for you other than put you in feed just a little bit more. There's no call to action that's related to it. Nothing. So if you're out there and you're boosting your posts, stop doing that now, because it's just a way for Facebook to make you feel like you're doing something, and they're taking money from you. So if you're boosting posts, stop boosting posts.
I mean, I love that you're getting into the general contracting area. What kind of what was the catalyst that moved you into choosing that niche? What was the reasoning behind that?
Okay, so the biggest reason and that I saw in doing my research is that I would say about 90% of the market isn't doing anything video related. And the ones that are, they're doing, like I just said, they're hiring out these bigger agencies and bigger production companies to do stuff for them. But I would still say 90% not doing anything video related. They might hire a digital agency to run ads for them or something like that, but it's not video related. And video is the now, it's the future. It's going to be here until we have the Star Wars pocket hologram things right in front of our faces. But I chose the space because I saw that. And then because of the amount of dollars that goes into, a particular project, I don't want to get into a space where I'm doing like e-com, where I have to sell a whole bunch of somebody's like shampoo bottles to have a better return on the investment that they're going to spend with me. It makes it a lot better if I can get you 15, 20 leads a month, and you can close 5 of those people, and that generates you $5, 10, 20, 30, $50,000 extra revenue into your business. It's a lot more of a no-brainer for you to turn around and spend that marketing retainer with me for $15, $25, $3,000 because of what I'm generating you, and I have to get you less in order to make that happen. So that's the main 2 reasons why I picked the space.
Awesome. Well, Evan, I appreciate your time here. Let me go ahead and recap the show here, and we'll kind of send this back to you. Let the folks know what you have going on. If you have specials, if you have some marketing things that are out there that you want to let them know about, go ahead and cap us off.
Yeah. So if you are a contractor or own a construction business, or if you're a realtor or anything like that out there, and you work with investors or anything like that use contractors. Right now I have a free training that's been kind of being pumped around Facebook and Instagram, and it's about mistakes that people in the contracting space generally make that lead them to losing out on higher paying jobs. And it really just runs around the 3 things that basically I implement for you, and then I show you at the end of the video kind of how I implement them. So if you see the ad, opt in, check it out. It's completely free, no sweat off your back. Share it with your friends. And yeah, that's kind of what I got going on right now. And you'll see some more from me coming along. I'm just getting some more creative stuff kind of in the books. But right now, that's what I'm pushing.
Yeah, and I can just based on my experience with you. I mean, Evan knows his stuff. So if you are looking for a professional that is going to go the extra mile, that's not just going to be there to collect a check and actually show some results, Evan is the client or the person for you. So Evan, I appreciate you so much, sir. Well, I'll give you a call here in a second just to recap, and yeah, look forward to working with you more on this and other projects. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.